Hi, I'm Diana Macedo. Let's get right to breaking news. President Trump says he's delaying tariffs on cars from Mexico for a month after speaking with Mexico's president. Trump writes on Truth Social that he's making the accommodation out of respect for President Sheinbaum. It comes a day after he announced the same delay for cars coming from Canada. Meanwhile, the Commerce Secretary is announcing more potential tariff exemptions. Let's go to White House correspondent Karen Travers and business reporter Alexis Christoforous for more on that. So, Alexis, what do we know about this latest delay on tariffs, and could we see even more?
Yes, we could. We are waiting for specifics for more clarity on this, Diane, but we know that it's not just the autos. We saw yesterday President Trump said that he was giving the U.S. automakers a 30-day reprieve from these tariffs. We saw the stock market rally briefly in response to that. And now it looks as though all goods and services coming from Mexico that are in compliance with the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement, which took place under Trump's first administration, are now exempt from these tariffs again for just 1 month. So April 2nd is the day we're all going to be looking at to see whether or not he institutes these tariffs again. But the stock market has really been on this roller coaster ride as it tries to discern, what tariff is in place, when might it be lifted? And so we're seeing stocks rally with a vengeance and sell off with a vengeance as a result.
Karen, in this post, President Trump is thanking Mexico's president for her, in his words, hard work and cooperation in stopping illegal immigration and fentanyl coming into the U.S. So what comes next?
What comes next is another month of waiting and potential negotiating to see if they can have another pause, another off-ramp. The president has done this now for 1 month, and as Alexis said, April 2nd will now be the date that everybody has circled on their calendar. But he has said that that is when reciprocal tariffs will go into effect, and that is another line of tariffs from this administration where they're trying to balance trade deficits with countries all around the world, and that would include Canada and Mexico. So it's not clear now what happens with you have this pause right now for Mexico for the next month, but they would likely be subject to tariffs again after this pause is lifted. But perhaps there's still that off-ramp of negotiations. And you and I have talked about this so many times now over the past 2 months of how it's still unclear what the metrics are that the administration is looking for from Mexico when it comes to stopping the flow of migrants and fentanyl across the border. What are the numbers they're looking for? That is not clear, but the president said today that he is pleased with what they're seeing right now and thanked the president of Mexico for hard work and cooperation. But the uncertainty still exists, and it's going to exist for another month. And Diane, we are all going to be here again talking about this and having the same conversation at the beginning of April.
And Alexis, this is also happening as we get ready for tomorrow's jobs report. It'll be the first full jobs report of the Trump administration. What are economists expecting there?
Unfortunately, this is not going to give us a great overall picture of the health of the job market because data involved in that jobs report really does not include all of the federal job cuts we're now seeing. So in some ways, tomorrow's report is going to be a bit backward looking. We have fresher data actually out this week that's not painting a great picture of the job market. ADP, which is a payroll company, came out this week and said that private employers added the fewest jobs since July. Another survey showing that layoff announcements jumped in February to levels we haven't seen since the recession of 2009. And we heard from Macy's today saying they expect another sales slowdown. Walmart last week during its earnings report said they expect 2025 to be a pullback year for the consumer. They're expecting sales to slow down. So, as more and more companies come out and talk about what the future looks like for them, that starts to get companies uneasy about expanding their payrolls. Are they going to, maybe they're not going to cut jobs, but are they willing to hire new workers? And I think we're going to learn more of that in the coming months with that report. I don't think tomorrow's report is going to show the whole picture.
All right. Karen Travers, Alexis Christoforous, thank you both.